And what did you think of the Danny X1? Is it the X1?
Oh yeah, it's so fucking cool. I'm hoping the attention they got on it accelerates how fast they bring it to the civilian market. But they made that thing. So for those of you who didn't see the short, X1 is like their version of the Knights KS1 that they made for the British SAS trials or whatever. They submitted it along with the Glock. The Glock rifle was in there. The KS1 is the one that ended up winning it. The Danny rep told me the reason that they lost out is because they had some bad metallurgy, and it's
With the bolt carrier.
Yeah, it's such a fast-paced program that they didn't have time to revise it, basically. But there's a lot of features on it that aren't on the KS1 that I think are really good. Like the biggest one being there's a carbon fiber sleeve over the barrel that's supposed to completely prevent any amount of heat, like, first of all, getting to the handguard, but also just like under nods or under thermals, it glowing, which is really cool. But it's one of those like super high-end, tailored towards special forces like rifles. And it looks really cool, and I really like the lockup on the handguard and everything on it. They said that Q3 of this year, they're going to release it to military and law enforcement, and then maybe next year, maybe a little later than that, they'll eventually release it to the civilian market. But they're getting a lot of eyeballs on that thing. Like, the Danny rep that we did the video with texted me, he's like, dude, that video has so many fucking views, my coworkers are calling me a celebrity. I'm like, hell yeah, man.
How do you say the word? Lubricious?
Lubricious. Yeah. It's the third time I've heard that word out of a third person I've heard say that word. And
lubricious. I think, well, it's like the major comment on YouTube.
Yeah. I think, well, that's the thing about it. He's not the first person I've heard say it. So I just kind of, you know, treated it like normal. I'm starting to realize that's not a real word, but it's going to be because enough people use it. Vector Eric was also.
I got on him for that. I got loud with the Daniel reps over.
Why?
Oh, because I just said, you know, what are you doing? It's not, you know me. I mean, I'm fucking part honey badger, part Henry Rollins. I got angry, and I just started. I mean, I didn't yell at him. I did. I yelled at him.
For what? For saying lubricious?
No, for not releasing it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but like,
what? Whoa. What do you mean you understand where they're coming from?
One bad product completely tanks your business in this industry.
Okay, then why release the H1?
I think they thought that thing was going to do a lot better than it did.
Okay.
They probably conducted.
Why release the there's clearly problems with the Danny 308.
What problems?
Every once in a while, you get one of the DD4, whatever, the different variations of the 308s, and it won't cycle with the suppressor. It's quickly remedied by adding a adjustable gas block. I have no idea why it happens, but every so often.
Well, I mean, you're talking about, it's probably not their suppressors you're putting on there. They can't account for what the back pressure of every single suppressor on the market looks like.
Yeah, it's their suppressor.
It's their suppressor?
Mm-hmm. I've seen it happen with their suppressor. I've seen it happen without their suppressor. I'm just saying that it's an instance where things happen.
Either way, it's not like... There's a difference between, you know, under this particular circumstance, because that's what the H9 problems were. Under this particular circumstance, using this kind of ammo, this thing can happen on certain guns, versus you start selling a $4,000 rifle and then every other one has its bolt carrier blow up in a few thousand rounds. Like, that's a big difference. So I think...
Change the bolt carrier.
Yeah, I think it's a good it's a fancy bolt carrier. It's a unique thing that's...
Release it without the fancy bolt carrier.
Then it defeats the purpose.
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with waiting for a good, fully tested, finished product. I'm probably different from most people out there. But people want gun now. I'm okay with people taking their time and perfecting the thing so that when they release it, it's going to be good. Because one bad thing and it fucks your reputation forever. You never let that shit fly. Even if you fix it immediately, people will be bringing that up for the entire lifetime of your company's existence.
Oh, because they've never had anything brought up about their reputation.
Daniel, I'd say, is on the positive side.
I mean, there's plenty of Daniel hate out there.
I'm sure there's
plenty.
There's plenty of hate of anything.
There's plenty of Daniel hate. It's like saying, you know, like how when Dead Air released the what was the gun? What was the camera blew up? The Sierra 5. Mm-hmm. Like, people still give them shit over that.
Correct. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
and people still give Daniel shit over the H1. We're just gonna disagree on that. Like, I think that it's possible. Like, to me, I don't like the can't. I don't like we can't do something because we're not ready. Fuck that. That's to me that's just that's the antithesis of entrepreneurialism. Like if you're an entrepreneur, if you have machines, if you have a plant, if you have a CEO working for you, if you have a payroll that's in the millions of dollars, you have the ability to bring that rifle to market. You choose not to. That's just how I look at things. It's like, well, it's like if it was my plant, I would gear every one of my machines to be making those guns right now because that's what the industry needs. The industry, my partners, my strategic partners, people like Shark Coast and Total Impact and Shoot Straight and all the hundreds of stores across the land would value and do well by the release of that rifle, and to release it to law enforcement by Q3 and then to the commercial market whenever they get the chance. That to me is a cop out. Well, I understand there's you have plenty of good textbook answers and good your thought out well answers, but to me I don't accept it. I don't accept like that's not being a strategic partner. Like, so companies throw around the word partner. SIG throws it around. Staccato throws it around. Daniel throws it around. All these big companies are like, we're your partners. The distributors are your partners. Everybody works together, so everybody makes money. Building a rifle for Leo and military before you release it to your commercial market, it fucking fucks you. Besides, by the time it gets out, right? By the time it gets out, there might be Sons might have come out with something even better. And now your rifles are irrelevant again.
Well, you also got to think about it. If they release it and they can't keep up with the demand, if they don't have the supply side figured out, because I understand what you're saying of tailor everything you've got to it, but they're still selling the fuck ton out of V7s. They're still selling the fuck ton out of the rest of their
That's
guns.
not true.
I mean, across the country, yeah, they are.
No,
maybe not in your store, but
it's not.
V7 is still one of the best-selling rifles in the United States.
That's not true. Then why did they blow it out at the Buy Group show? The Buy Group show, the V7 pistol was cheapest. It was almost half.
Well, specifically the pistol was, but like the standard 16-inch V7 is like, that's a default rifle that people tell you to get across the country. V7 still, they can't just stop making V7s to make more X1s. And also they can't release the X1 if they can't keep up with the supply.
So the V7's price was cut in half last year.
The pistol was.
Nope, the rifle was.
The rifle was?
And the rifle still didn't sell that well.
How much are V7s?
I don't want to release the names of it, but it was about not half, but here, I'll write it down. Here, throw me. So this is how much V7s are. Mm-hmm. This is how much they were during the summer buy group.
Interesting.
This is how much pistols are. Now pistols are this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. I ordered a bunch.
Nice. But the main point I'm trying to make is I think the reason that the Mark I got so popular is because they timed it right and they had the supply to back it up. Because as soon as it won the contract, we could have 20 of them on our wall. They played it super well. And I think if, let's say, Daniel releases the X1 today and they can make 5,000 of them, they'll sell out. People looking for them won't be able to get them, and then by the time they get restocked, people will be scalping them and all this kind of stuff. Whenever there's very little supply and very high demand, I feel like the hype dies down, and then by the time you can consistently get them on the market, nobody wants them anymore because the hype is dead. You've got to time it really well and make sure you can support the supply with the hype.
Okay, so 4 years ago... Oh, fuck. It's Lululemon. 4 years ago, we went to the Daniel Defense Range Day, or maybe it was 3 years ago, and the only thing they had was the PCC, right? And it was really interesting because there were fucking tons of foreign military folks there, and they served us barbecue, and it was really cool. But they had the PCC, and we sat there and shot it with the Spectre 9, and I think I must have put maybe 1,000 rounds through it. We just sat there. Were you there?
No.
Were you there? I think it was me, Andrew, and Pierce. And when I got done with it, being such a 9mm freak, I was like, Jesus, fuck, this is the best. And this is going to be great. I'm going to be able to sell. Like, at the time, people still had money. And I was like, I could sell 30 of these right now. When can you get them? Q3 of next year. Okay. That really sucks. Can we change it? Nope. Got to wait for supply issues. And I'm like, all right. So Q3 came and passed. Like by the time they got, that was in January. By the time we got them, it was right before, the last week of November. So Q3, but the last week of November. By the time they came out, the craze and the demand for them fucking nosedived. Like we sold plenty for a while, but not like the demand was for it when it first got released. That's just how retail works. If you release something and talk about it, it's cool. And if you can, I get all your points that you're saying, but what I have seen traditionally in the past, when you eventually release it, the demand for it falters.
Well, it is a different. I understand where you're coming from, but I think the PCC is a bad example because that's not really like a serious gun. No shade, but it's a 9mm. Like it's a 9mm carbine. That's the same size and weight as something that you could.
You
get
are fucking racist against 9mm.
I'm just saying that's a fun range toy. It's a fun trainer gun. I mean, maybe for home defense you could make the argument, but there are better options out there, especially for the money. Like a PCC is a fun gun. We're talking about like a SOCOM Special Forces level Mark I competitor with the X1. Imagine, just apply this. Imagine if they had released the Mark I 4 or 5 months earlier than when they did, but you weren't able to keep them stocked. You could get maybe 2 in a shipment and they would sell immediately, and then you'd have people coming in and asking for it and you couldn't get them.
Well, I think the only reason, the reason why we have them in stock is because I ordered 50.
Yeah,
like that,
and they were able to deliver 50.
But most people don't order that. Most people don't. Most people didn't say I'm going to order fucking 20, and then like I ordered like 20, and then 30, and then 30, and then 30, like just because I know how supply chain gets. But most people, so other shops can't probably get them.
Well, perfect example here, the Knights KS1,
Okay.
phenomenal rifle, also won a super high-end military contract, really expensive high-tailored gun. You cannot get that thing no matter how hard you try brand new. Like you might be able to get on a wait list for a year and get one, or you might be able to find one used, or you might be able to find one on tax swap.
But that's their thing.
But commercially, the KS1 is so much less successful than the Mark I is because anybody today that wants a Mark I can get a Mark I same day. Nobody's having to get on a wait list or shop around or search. Anybody that wants one can get it easily, and I think that's the most important thing. The Knights armament is cool as it is and as loved as it is, probably does not have a lot of commercial sales because they don't really care about that. That's Knights armament. But imagine if you were able to order 50 Knights KS1s. You would sell them like that.
Yes.
Exactly. So I think I want the X1 to be more like a Mark I and less like a KS1.
Okay. I get the feeling like some companies just don't give a shit anymore. And like
That's a good conversation to have.
I think that Suns is a company that gives a shit. And it could just be like me with rose tinted glasses. But I think that there's some companies in the game right now. Well, there's a lot of companies in the game right now who just don't give a shit anymore. They're so high in their ivory tower of success that they've forgotten, the common shop. They've forgotten the common person. And we're like, we're the common shop. We need help. And so when I think I think Sons gives a shit. I think like Nate gives a shit. Sean Murphy gives a shit. Mike gives a shit. And they still know what it's like to struggle, scrap.